Hey everybody, and welcome to the DM Toolbox. This week, I got a box. It's mail call day, and I got something here from Kobold Press. So we're going to open this and take a look together. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, I'm Joe from the DM Toolbox. Before we get started today, just want to remind you, you can follow me on Twitter at toolbox_DM. I always post updates there in my videos on what's going to be coming up next week, so make sure you check that out. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like this video for some more good content. All right, let's get started. So, I got a box this week from Kobold Press. I ordered a couple books, some of my top ones I've been really looking forward to getting. And I figured we'll just open them up and do a first impression look together. So, got my box cutter here. Always good to have the right tool for the job. We don't want to be cutting into our books. I don't like using a scissor because, sometimes you slip or whatever. And I, don't want to damage a book. So, box cutter's the way to go. Now, if you guys remember, a couple weeks ago, I looked at the Midgard World book, and we looked at some of the monster books, and I had mentioned I was going to start playing in Midgard on their Discord server, and I did, and I'm having a ton of fun with it. So I figured, let's get in and get some more books, and I want to start DMing in Midgard and playing more in Midgard. So that's what we did. All right, packing peanuts. You know who loves packing peanuts? My dogs. They will eat these things like crazy, so I got to be careful not to get too many on my floor. All right, we got a first book. Oh, I don't know which one this is. All right. Oh, there goes some packing peanuts. Dogs will be happy. All right, I'm going to put this box aside. Let's take a look. Yep. So we have here the Midgard Heroes Handbook. So for those of you who don't know, this is kind of like your player's handbook for Midgard. So this was a pretty essential one for me to get as I start playing more, and I'm planning on DMing. And I want some of my new players to be able to, kind of make characters and use this because, yeah, we've got all the official Wizards of the Coast stuff, but some of the races in Midgard are unique. Even like things like Minotaurs and Gnomes and Elves that are, part of normal D&D has some different traits and stuff in Midgard. So this is super helpful to have. So real quick, take a look at the table of contents. You can even see right here up front, they have some cool art. And I noticed too, it's the same thing with the pages. Like I mentioned before with the World Book, they have those kind of like rough pages, kind of looks like a bit of a parchment. And I really do like that. I think that's a cool touch. So real quick here, just a quick overview. It looks like we have in chapter 1, we have races. Then the next couple of chapters cover subclasses. We have our martial and roguish characters. We have our divine characters, our arcane characters. Then we get into some unique feats and backgrounds. We've got some spell casting rules. We've mentioned this before, and if you're a Midgard fan, you know that magic in Midgard works off of ley lines, these magical lines of energy that run through the world. Depending on your vicinity to them, magic can become more powerful. So got some stuff on how that works. And also geomancy, which I believe is some kind of magic school or something within Midgard. I have to really read more on it. Like I said, I'm still fairly new to Midgard, so I'm kind of learning and giving you guys my impressions as I go. Chapter 7 here has some spell lists and spell descriptions. So we're going to get some new spells. And I do happen to know there are a lot of new spells in this book. And then finally, we get some an appendix with like creatures and monsters and magic items and conditions and mundane items. So a lot of stuff in this book. Do a quick flip through here. You can see some of the really cool art in here. This is for the centaurs. We have our traits. Our natural attacks, our weapons. We've got our dwarves up here. So Midgard races, though, they are similar to what we get out of the player's handbook, sometimes are a bit different. I would definitely, if I was playing in Midgard and I was going to make, a dwarf in Midgard, I'd probably use everything out of here rather than the player's handbook versions. One of the unique races of Midgard is in here. That's the Gearforged. So these are kind of mechanical type beings. Clockwork and mechanics and stuff like that are a thing in Midgard, which I kind of like. I think it's neat. So the Gearforged, though, I believe it's like a person's soul was kind of transferred into a this mechanical being. So you're still like a living person conscious, just in a metal body. So you're like RoboCop. All right. So yeah, we got kobolds and all sorts of cool stuff. Winterfolk halflings. That's kind of neat. I like the art here. I'm really liking the art in this book already. But the Kobold Press art in general is just always good. We get into our subclasses and stuff like that. One really cool thing that they have in here is they've got this whole system for weapons where they call it the weapon options. So each weapon has got a few things that you can do with that weapon. So if I'm using a glaive, for instance, I have a disarming parry and a trip attack that I can do. So those just go right on my character sheet. This is just Midgard stuff that I get. I have to see if I can actually put these on my character that I'm playing on the Midgard Discord server, because he's using a maul in there, and I want to see what I can do with a maul other than smash. Don't get me wrong, I love to smash, but if I could do some other cool stuff, I am all for it. So this is a cool set of rules. I really like this. They also have rules in here on things like magic and other like rune magic and all this unique stuff that is kind of unique to Midgard. You have divine option rune magic. I believe there's some other arcane option rune magic. So rune magic is a thing here. Let's jump back to spells. I just want to show you guys real quick. I don't want to spend too much time here, but I just want to show you guys real quick the spells, because they have a ton of spells. Like here's some spell lists. Like here you can see the warlock on the second half of this. How many new spells they have? That's just the warlock. So everybody's obviously there's some overlap between spells and classes, but there is just tons of new spells. Like we're talking like 30, maybe 40 pages worth of spells here. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I think it's about 40 pages worth of spells, maybe a little bit more than that. So a ton of new spells. I'm gonna have to put all that into D&D Beyond and into Foundry, because that's super cool. And then it looks like there's a new condition called snow blindness, and then they also added frostbite and hypothermia in here. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And I think they said mundane items, alchemist smoke and clockwork hell trips. So yeah, cool stuff, man. I like it. This is gonna be a fun book to play with and to go through. So if you are getting into playing or DMing in Midgard, this is a book for the players to use and really build out some really cool characters. And again, this has some like kind of overview for the players. So you don't want to give the players the world book, but this would be a great book to kind of say, hey, here's Midgard and here's how it works from a player's perspective. So this is awesome. Another good book, which I don't have yet. I did pick up the PDF, but I need to get the hardcover when it comes back in stock, is Deep Magic, which is kind of another big volume of options and stuff for players. All right, second book. I'm grabbing it here. Pull it out of the box. We've got, and this one I'm excited for. So I'm going to start this by saying that I am a big fan of another YouTuber called Mr. Tarask. And I'm sure you guys have seen him if you're watching my stuff, because we kind of do some similar things. I'm going to be branching out beyond just book reviews, but right now I've just kind of been focused on some books because I'm having a lot of fun with them. But if you watch Mr. Tarask, he's a big Midgard guy. He's done tons of awesome videos in Midgard. I highly suggest you watch them. But he over and over and over again says in multiple videos, and a conversation I had with him like 3 years ago on Facebook, apparently, if you ask him what his favorite book is, he will always tell you his favorite book on his bookshelf is Tales of the Old Margreve. So the Old Margreve is a magical forest in Midgard. When you play Midgard, a great starting point for any adventure, new players, stuff like that, is the city of Zobek. It's kind of dead smack middle in of the map. I mentioned this in my last Midgard video, but it's just kind of your ideal starting point. It's got a little bit of everything. It's an awesome town, an awesome setting to play in. The Old Margreve is a forest right next to it. Thing is, it's this huge magical forest. And it's kind of a campaign setting on its own. Like you could probably run a level 1 through 20 adventure with this book in hand. So let's take a look. I'm really liking the cover art. Man, this is a cool book. I'm excited for this book. Look at even the back cover is cool. You got the like hag or something back here. Tales of the Old Margreve takes your 5th edition game deep into the ancient magical forest with new spells, monsters, magic items, and wondrous locations by Richard Green and Wolfgang Barr. A monster appendix by John, I'm going to mess up your last name, Swaski, and James Introcaso. The 12 adventures for heroes of levels 1 through 10. Okay, so I spoke too soon. At least probably like through level 11 or 12. All right, back of the book. I love this. This is one of my favorite things to get in any book is a fold-out map. So we have Lovica. I'm going to say that's how you pronounce it. I could be wrong. Right back here. So we have a map of Lovica. And on the other side, we have a map of the actual forest. This is kind of glued into the book. I got to be careful peeling this out. Here we go. So there you go. So nice little, it's not a huge map, but it's a nice little map. This is cool. I love fold out maps. All right, so let's jump into the table of contents. So looking at the table of contents, we have the Old Margreve Gazetteer, which is like information, background, stuff like that on the forest, some random encounters, things like that. Then we've got some inhabitants and adventure hooks, some history, geography, things like that. Some information on magic in the forest, and then we get into the adventures. One of the adventures I think that looks really cool here is the Griffin Hatchling Heist. I don't know why. I haven't read it. I just think that it says heist, and that should be cool. I also like this Galav the Spider Crone. That sounds interesting because, you know, crone, I'm thinking maybe a hag. Maybe that's this lady on the back. I don't know, but I like creepy stuff too in forest. You know, when I played Tome of Annihilation, I really worked up the Soon sisters in my group. So that, you know, that was a lot of fun to play with. So let's flip through a little and take a look here. So cool art, right? We got some cool art. I like it. We've got some tables here, NPC tables and whatnot. So those are always good. I do love my tables. But yeah, I'm excited to play with this book. I think this will be a fun one. This looks cool too. I like how the art that Kobold Press does reminds me of the art almost from back in like the AD&D 2nd edition days. It always inspired me. It always made me think about what was going on, and it just had me thinking a lot about creating an adventure. So the artwork they do is really cool. Here's some cool stuff. I don't even know what it is. It's probably part of that honey adventure that they mentioned. But yeah, this looks good, guys. I would definitely suggest this book. I think I'm going to have a ton of fun with it. I think when I DM my first Midgard adventure, I'll probably start in Zobak, do a few things there, and then get them out into the forest and have a lot of fun in the forest. Maybe, you know, kind of back and forth between Zobak and the forest a little bit. I don't want to just stick to the one place. But this does look super, super neat. Some more cool art there. So yeah, guys, I would say this book is extremely promising. Mr. Tarask's recommendation alone is enough for me, so I am going to definitely be digging into this book, and these will be on my nightstand now for at least in the next couple of weeks as I read through them. I'm still working on reading through the entire Midgard world book, but it's an awesome read. I'm really enjoying it. So take a look at these books. Also, don't forget, I mentioned this in a little mini video previously, that Kobold Press has a new Kickstarter coming out called the Tome of Heroes. So all new character options, right? We have our character options here, but they're coming out with a whole bunch more, and I'm really excited. So they've been leaking some art over the last week or two. In fact, if I can, I'll show you a little bit of that art here in this video. I'll put it up here. And you can take a look, but they're leaking, you know, there's definitely going to be subclasses, right? We've seen monks, warlocks, druids, all sorts of cool stuff coming out. Rangers. I think maybe they showed us an image of fighters. So yeah, we're going to obviously be getting some new subclass stuff. I don't know what else. It's still a mystery. It hasn't hit Kickstarter yet. There's just a little preview. I'll put a link in the video so you know where to go and sign up for notifications on that. But I'm excited about this Kickstarter. They're also doing a contest for a giveaway of one of their tiers for the Kickstarter, which is going to be the special edition cover of the book. So that should be super cool too. I'm really excited about this one. Also, I just wanted to mention a couple other quick things. I said earlier, I finally got to play in Midgard on the Discord group, and I had a ton of fun. So I wanted to thank the DM that ran that. I got to do part one a little about a week or two ago, and we just did part two of an adventure last night. So Lando from the Discord server, awesome DM, great time. So thank you, Lando, for that. You got me introduced to Midgard officially. I also want to thank one of our dungeon guides over there, or our council members, I should say, over on the Discord server, Scott, who is really the one who convinced me to buy the World Book and really dig in, as I'd had the monster books forever, but he finally is like, dude, you gotta check out Midgard, it's awesome, and here I am. So thankfully, Scott convinced me to do that. I also want to thank the Kobold Press guys who actually come in and hang on the Discord server and talk with us. I know I appreciate it. I'm sure the community does too, but you guys really do help when we have questions or just want to chit chat. You guys are always there. So I want to thank both Alex and Ben, who are always interacting with us, because I think that means a lot and shows your commitment to the community. So thank you for that. Also, Victoria, for constantly teasing us on that new Tome of Heroes book. You're killing me. Thank you for the Warlock leak. That was awesome. So appreciate all of you guys. Your community is great, and your products are better. So thank you again. So that's it for today, guys. I want to thank you for hanging out with me. Next week, we're going to probably take a look at some digital tools DMs can use to better manage their campaigns. I also have some 3D printed stuff I plan on sharing very soon, and some other new books that I got coming in. So stay tuned for all that. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. Make sure you're subscribing. Make sure you're liking so you get these notifications and you know when this stuff is coming out. All right, guys, that's it for now. Until next time, roll those dice.